Welcome everyone to another edition of Thrive Thursday inside your favorite Facebook community, Redefining Supermom. I am your host and leader, Dr. Raquel Muller, the Mompreneur Success Specialist. And today on Thrive Thursday, we are talking about visioning, creating your biggest dreams with visioning. And I'm going to take these off right now. So, one of the things that is very popular right now, as we know, is the idea of creating vision boards. Why do we do that? Right? Now, we do that because we understand that in order to achieve our biggest dreams, we have to have concrete images of what it is that we desire to create. And that when we do that and we keep those images in front of our minds, we're going to more easily be able to commit to taking the action steps that we will need in order to achieve those big dreams. Thank you. Awesome. Yeah, if you are popping in here for the first time, especially pop into the chat. Where are you popping in from? Where are you located? And definitely I'm going to be inviting you to comment throughout this presentation. So today's presentation is about going beyond the vision board, because having the vision board is a great start and it is not enough. Now, I know that if you're in this particular community, you have a big dream, you have desires in your heart to create something amazing, an amazing life. And chances are that you created your business with that in mind, right? To have time freedom, financial freedom, to have an impact in the world, to be the most amazing mom that you can be, amazing spouse, and have all of the things. And I'm here to tell you, my sister, you can have it all. Yes, it is possible. And there are things that you need to know in order to get there. And there are certain ways that you need to think and act in order to get there. That is the path that I'm on, and that is what I am here with you sharing today. Okay, so let's get right into it. And actually, first of all, before I do that, the other day I shared with you, well, I don't know if you caught it or not. Justine, thank you for being here. Phoebe, awesome. I'm glad that you made it. Fantastic. So I want you to work with this mantra. Here's the mantra I want to give you, and you can feel free to tweak it if you like, okay? So I embody my higher self as I create the life of my dreams. I embody my higher self as I create the life of my dreams. And I'm going to invite you right now, pop that in the chat. If you are with me, if you believe that this is true, pop it into the chat. Let's declare it as truth. The more that we declare it as truth, the more true that it becomes, right? We need to know that our words are power, because again, they inform what are the messages that we are rehearsing over and over in our heads. What are we saying to other people about us, about the world, about people around us? Okay? Awesome, Angie, you made it. Yay, Angie's here for the first time. Welcome, welcome. And where are you joining us from? And if you're here watching a replay a little bit later on, pop it into the chat with a hashtag replay and share with us where you're joining us from. Okay, so I'm going to give you 5 key, I'm going to call them principles, that are important in terms of helping you to unlock the power of creating your biggest dreams, even when the circumstances around you are kind of chaotic or non-preferred or stressful. Okay, because you, my sister, have the power to create whatever you choose. All right, and this is the process, okay? This is how you're going to do it. Well, first of all, the first idea is this, is that God, universal intelligence, universal source, right? It lives in everything and everyone, okay? So that includes, of course, ourselves. This is in inanimate objects and inanimate and animate objects, okay? Now, the idea of this force is to create, right? We know that God created everything that there is, that the universe created everything that there is, right? And so the idea is that everything is designed to continue to grow and evolve and become more, right? This is the nature of things, of matter, of energy, is to become more, to expand. And so this nature resides within us. So that's the first thing that we need to understand, right? Is that if we have a big dream, God put that dream in our heart, right? And we are here to take it and bring it into reality. So it is a constant invitation. So that takes me to point number 2, right? Is that as a human being, you are likely experiencing a desire in your heart to do more and be more and have more. And so when we talk about ambition and creating those big goals, that's all about being more, doing more, and having more. And there is nothing wrong with that. There is nothing selfish about that. In fact, that is God and the universe going like this. Hey, knocking on your heart, like, open up. Because guess what? You have a purpose that you were created for, right? And you're being told, hey, there is more for you. There's more that I want from you. There's more that I want through you. You are going to bring amazing gifts into this world, right? Put some thumbs up in the chat if you feel me. Give me some hearts. Yes, Ashley is here. Fantastic. And Phoebe is joining us from Portland. Thank you, Phoebe. Awesome. Yeah, so the whole idea is that as we embrace this desire, again, it's unlocking our potential, helping us to become more and finding fulfillment in our lives as we do that. So I want you to understand that the dream that you have, that the desire that you have for more is, again, it's not a selfish thing. It's not even your own. Think of it as this is something that was given to you and you are the steward of it, right? Think about it as a gift. And what do we want to do with gifts, right? You don't take a gift and go, oh yeah, well, ideally not, right? Especially such a huge gift as it is to have, your talents and that you can serve people around you with, right? And so the idea is you want to take this gift and expand it, make it more, make it bigger, make it really impactful. And so when we want to access this universal source that lives within us and unlock the potential of this big dream, the way that we do that is through using our intuition and using our imagination, right? It has been said that our hearts always speak, but they speak in whispers, like this, in whispers. So that means that we have to quiet down our minds because our minds are always busy, aren't they? Right? Who's got a busy mind? Who's got like 5 million thoughts running around in your head? I know I have experienced that. And so it becomes essential then to take those voices and quiet them down so that our heart can speak, right? This also translates into connecting with the signals that we experience in our body. Pay attention to the energy in your body. When you experience a sense of expansion, an energy of expansion, that is a really beautiful thing. That is drawing you towards something. When you experience a sense of contraction, like, ooh, I don't know, then that's telling you something too. That's telling you that's not, something that's going to lead you to that big potential, right? And that big dream that you're moving towards. But a lot of times, what do? We take that and we override it, right? We kind of tell that those sensations, ignore them, right? Like, oh, yeah, no. It's okay. That doesn't make any sense. And we want to go and try to be logical and rational. Ooh, I'm going to tell you a little bit something about that in a moment. But, so we use our intuition and we use our imagination. Where does imagination come in? Okay, now I want you to think about for a moment, think about the last time that you heard a news report, or you were in a conversation that was not about a positive thing, right? And think about immediately how that experience made you feel, right? And what kind of images came to mind for you, okay? So chances are that if we are exposing ourselves to negative messages, our imaginations are going to take that and run with it, right? And because we are also wired for survival and to look out for danger, is that we're going to default to the negative, right? And so we're going to then end up feeling kind of discouraged, confused, lost, depressed, anxious. All of these things can happen, right? And then think about, so that's one scenario, right? We can use our imaginations to terrorize ourselves, right? Put some thumbs up in the chat if you're feeling me. Let me see some comments here. This is hard for me. I've ignored intuition for so long. Yeah, Phoebe, and you are not alone. Absolutely. This is something that I have, personally experienced most of my life, that I have ignored that. When you get that gut feeling, right? And then, something bad happens, and then you go back, hindsight, and say, oh my gosh, I knew it, but I didn't listen to my own intuition, right? And so that is what we want to cultivate more of. And for so long we've been told as women, that intuition, that it's not valid, right? Because it doesn't make sense, or it's not rational or logical or whatever. Well, here's the thing. Intuition is mighty powerful. Put some hearts in the chat if you're feeling me. Intuition is powerful. Put that one in the chat. Intuition, we have it, and we need to use it more. Because again, that is universal source. It is God trying to communicate with us, right? Okay, so I'm going to go back to imagination. So again, we can use it to terrorize ourselves, or we can use it for good. Such as when we create that vision board, right? And we put all these beautiful images of the stuff that we want to bring into the facts of our lives. That's when we can really use our imaginations for good, to help us move closer to bringing those things into reality. So the thing about it is, we're constantly creating results no matter what. We're going to have some kind of result or another in all the different aspects of our lives. And so I always talk about getting intentional. What is it that we actually want to create, right? And creating a vision. So you hear me talk about a lot this whole idea of creating a vision board. So the vision board is one part of that, but it's also, speaking of imagination, taking those images and rehearsing those images over and over. Picture yourself, in that big yacht in the middle of the ocean, if that's your thing. Picture yourself on that European vacation with your family, laughing and eating gelato or whatever it is that you want. Picture, the amount of money that you want to see coming into your bank account, flowing into your bank account, and picture, yourself looking at your balance and going, oh my gosh, I am so grateful. This is fantastic. Picture using that money for the things that you want to use it for, right? Picture all the cool things that you desire. You want to be rehearsing those images over and over and over again so that they become embedded into your consciousness. And the reason why that is so important as well is because, yes, if it doesn't feel right, then it isn't. Right on, Ashley. So you want to practice those images because that's also what's going to put you in an energy, in a certain vibrational frequency that's going to help you attract those things that you desire, right? And we don't just attract by thinking about it either. That doesn't end there, right? It encourages us to put ourselves in that high energy, which then allows us to see possibilities and ideas, opportunities that maybe we couldn't see at a different frequency. Does that make sense? Who's feeling me on that? Put some thumbs up in the chat. Let's see. I see some high fives. Awesome. Yeah, so so it's going to lead us then to being able to see possibilities and to then take the actions that are going to be required for us to create those things in the three-dimensional facts of our lives. So it isn't enough to just have the images. It's to basically rehearse those images enough that we get in that energy to go and take the actions that we need to take. Because without action, we're not going to be able to receive, right? I believe it was Wallace Wattles who said that by thought you can attract the things that you want, but by action is how you receive it. And that is another whole topic that I'm going to cover on a different live, the topic of receiving. Because so many times when things do present themselves, good things, we go like this. Ooh, I don't know, this might be a little too much. I'm not ready. We do this. This is a natural tendency that we have, and it's called the upper limit problem. But again, that's another whole training. So stay tuned. So, again, if we rehearse scary images, we're going to be in that same frequency, and we're going to attract more of that. If we rehearse images that are expansive, that bring us alive, that bring us joy, then we're likely to put ourselves in the frequency to attract more of that. And again, the action needs to also to happen. So the other thing too that I want to mention in regard to this, I see some thumbs up, and yes, that's fantastic. Yes, Angie. Yes, Ashley. So, the other piece is, when you think about the most successful people that or even let's think about historical people that we all know. Say, for example, Henry Ford or the Wright brothers, who were flight pioneers, or people like Oprah, people like that, right? If you think about it, this is definitely the case, right? Is that these people had to face incredible obstacles and face even ridicule, right? People telling them, what, are you crazy? That's not possible. That's not practical. What are you thinking, right? That ain't never gonna happen. I mean, think about that. But here's the thing that those people have in common. It is that they lived from their vision. They knew in their heart that what they wanted was possible. It's just that it wasn't at that time materialized into three-dimensional facts that everybody could see, hear, taste, smell. Yeah? And so people who create big things like that, they live from their vision, and they refuse to hear the naysayers and have the naysayers deter them from what they know is possible. Bam! There goes a mic drop moment for you right there. Okay? So we have to be willing to entertain these images of what we want to create and move in accordance to those images, even when the facts around us don't show us that reality. So the reality has to start here first before it can become three-dimensional reality. Think about all the things that have been created ever were first an object in somebody's imagination. Think about that. My mentor always says that everything is created twice. And it is for that reason, because everything starts in imagination and then becomes an actual thing. Okay? So if you lean into these ideas, I think that you will find that you feel a sense of peace. Number one, because you're working with this amazing power that's giving you this dream, right? If you believe that you were given this dream and that God and the universe wants you to have all the good things, that's amazing, because it means that you're going to be supported, that you're going to be shown the way to create that. You may not see right now all of the how. And if your dream is big enough, guess what? You will not know how. You will not know how. But you have to trust here and here and start moving in the direction of that big dream that you have. Okay, am I making sense, ladies? Who's got some comments? Let's see. Vulnerability is huge. It's a huge aspect of moving forward in our vision. Hard for me. Yeah, Angie, thank you for sharing that. And it is vulnerable, right? Especially when people around you may not be able to understand what it is that you're trying to create, or see that big picture that you see and feel what you feel, right? And that is also why it's super duper important to surround yourself with a community, with a mentor who can support you in dreaming big that way, who is at a level of awareness that is a little bit farther than where you are, and that maybe can pinpoint to you where you might be kind of veering off, or where you might need some guidance, right? And guess what? Of course, there's going to be moments where that belief in what you're creating is going to get shaken, because we're human beings, and we're surrounded by all kinds of facts, conditions, and circumstances, and so again, support is going to be super important in helping to create that big bold dream, which is why I have created this community, because I want to support you, my ladies, in having more and doing more and being more. Emphasis on the being, really, that's the where the juice is, because when you're being a certain kind of person, all the other pieces emerge as a natural progression from that. Let's see some comments here. Ooh, vulnerability is intense after being on autopilot for years. Ooh, that's a juicy one, Phoebe. Yes, autopilot. I like how you describe that. And it is true that for so long and for so many people, I think most people operate on that autopilot, right? But really, what I'm after and what I want for you is for you to no longer be on autopilot, to be freaking alive. Who wants to feel alive? Put some hearts in the chat right now. Put in the comments alive, and give me some hearts, because that's what we're here for. We're not here to lead mediocre lives. We are here to freaking bring our best to this world and experience joy and fulfillment. And guess what? The universe wants us to have that too. And guess what else? When we do that, think about the impact that we then have on our children, on our significant others, on our parents, siblings, friends, colleagues, clients. Oh my gosh, right? Thank you for those hearts. Awesome. Yes, we are alive, and that's what we want. We want to feel alive. And speaking of that, I want to give you my very, very, very favorite quote in the world. And it's by Howard Thurman, is the name of the gentleman. And it goes like this: do not ask what the world needs. Find something that brings you alive and do that. Because what the world needs is people who have come what? You guessed it. People who have come alive, right? And think about what a beautiful world we could create if everyone pursued what it is that brings them most alive, right? And here's something else I want you to know. That when we follow this desire that is God-given, and we move towards that big dream, that we will never be asked to sacrifice anything. It's not about sacrificing our health or our relationships or our freedom in any way. In fact, this is the kind of thing that is going to help expand all of that, and it's going to bring good, whatever is good for you, and you'll know it because you'll feel it. You'll feel that energy of expansion, right? Going back to the intuition. That when you feel that and you move towards it, this force that I mentioned, right? God, the universe, source, it moves towards creating good for everything and everyone. Do you understand that? Contagious, yes, the universe is relying on us to do this. Absolutely. Exactly. Because that's how the universe operates, right? It operates through things, people, right? And so that's why we're here. We are the agents. We are the stewards that are going to bring this good into the world. And think about something else. When somebody is alive and they are happy and they're fulfilled, they cannot hate. Right? And there's another mic drop moment. You cannot hate when you are a happy, fulfilled individual, moving in accordance to this big power that created you, and moving in accordance to creating something that benefits everyone. You can't hate. And again, we've seen too much freaking hate. I mean, we still do, right? But in this past year, it's been just startling how much negativity and hatred has been, floating around to the degree that I know a lot of people have disconnected from social media entirely because they just could not take it anymore. It just got toxic. And that's not what we're about. That's not what it should be about. So you and I, my sister, get to be the example. That's how it starts. If one person at a time started to live in this way and to go for that big dream, the thing that brings us alive, oh my gosh, right? The impact that we all are going to have on the people around us. And that's how we create a better world. That's how we do it. Because we know that the only person that we can really influence and control 100% is ourselves. And we have to start by mastering what's going on in here. Right? And that's what I'm talking about here. Be the change. Amen, sister. Woo! Thank you so much. I'm loving all these comments and the thumbs up. You cannot hate when you're alive. Oh my gosh, yes. You guys are hearing me. And that's what I'm talking about. So let us, commit to moving in this direction of, our biggest dreams, knowing that as we create our biggest dreams, that is going to serve our children, our spouses, our clients, our friends, everybody in our midst. So let us, let us move in that direction. That is my challenge for you today. Stay tuned for additional trainings in this and other topics, right? I want to help guide you and show you the things that I am learning and that I have learned that have served me in creating more of that aliveness. If you had met me a few years ago, you would have said, oh, Raquel, she's very positive, very optimistic. But now, girls, I'm fucking on fire, okay? Because my belief has gotten that much stronger. My faith in this big dream, this big vision has gotten that much stronger. My commitment to bringing this to you has gotten that much stronger. And I know that this is my mission, is to bring this to you. That brings me alive, right? Oh, I'm gonna make me cry now.